890 GGN. I am very excited. We have a special in-studio guest on today. We have Mr. Claude Harris. Did I say it right? Claude Harris?
You said it right.
Thank you so much, Mr. Harris, for joining us. He is the co-developer of the Scholarship Software Program, and he is here to share some information about some free scholarship workshops coming up. How are you doing on today?
Doing good. Very blessed. I'm happy to be here.
I am happy to have you here. And this is right on time with everyone going back to school and getting ready to go back to school. Why don't you tell our listeners, how does your scholarship program work?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Well, I'm the Missouri and Kansas sponsor for SAGE, which stands for Saving, Growth, and for Education. And so what SAGE does basically is it's kind of like the A+ program that a lot of people in Missouri are familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
You can use it at Choice Missouri schools.
Yes.
SAGE is very similar to that. The only difference is there's no minimum GPA with SAGE.
Okay.
You've got to have a decent enough GPA to get actually accepted into the college, but there's no minimum of a 2.5 like the A+ program.
Okay.
There's no community service hours that you have to do. I think you have to do 50 hours of community service with the A+ program. So with SAGE, you don't have to do any community service hours. I still promote, and I'm an advocate for community service hours. I believe it's important, but for the program, you don't have to have that. And then the other thing that you do with SAGE is actually it's in 45 states. So where the A+ program is basically only in the state of Missouri, SAGE is actually in 45 states, and there's 344 member colleges that are in the SAGE network. And so me being a Missouri and Kansas sponsor, we can give away a $1,000 tuition reward scholarship to every person that comes to the workshop. They have to be between the age of 1 and 17, and then they earn an additional $1,000 every year of their birthday until they hit the age of 17. So it's a wonderful program. I've been working with a lot of youth organizations here in Kansas City. We started with the Young Achievers program with the YMCA, and we won a couple of awards with that, so I'm very happy about the program.
Right. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can now.
Okay,
I can.
great. I'm cutting in and out. I apologize about that. That is an awesome program, and I kind of got thrown off track when you said the A+ program. Is that geared just towards specific schools? Is your
Yeah, our program, it has 344 colleges that are within the SAGE network, and those schools again are in 45 states. Where and I believe the A+ program is an awesome program as well.
Right.
We just want to be able to offer more value as well, but it goes towards the tuition. And
Yes.
It's in 45 states.
That is awesome. I know you said that 2 times or 3 times, but thank you for repeating that.
It's
I
all
appreciate it. Okay, and let's go back. How did this whole program get started?
Really kind of with my mom and I. My mom and I went down to the EOC office back in the day. I'm OG. That was back in 92. And we sat there, and she saw how much it was going to cost to send me to college, and her had that deer in her headlight look like, how am I going to send the boy down to college? And, in faith, being 17, going 18 years old, I told her, hey, I'm going to get a scholarship.
Yeah.
I didn't have a scholarship, but I was talking big.
All right.
So I went down to Pittsburgh State. I walked on the basketball team.
All right,
got
Pittsburgh.
a scholarship. The Root represented
All
Pitt
right.
State Gorillas. And so got down there and got a scholarship, but it was basically a partial, so it wasn't really
Right.
covering a whole lot. And then my second year, actually was able to call home, and I told my mom, you know what, don't worry about it. I got it from here. So with me getting a bigger scholarship from basketball and some other money that I got from financial aid, it was a wonderful phone call that I gave to her to say,
Absolutely.
I got it.
Yeah.
But how many 18, 19-year-old kids are willing to do that,
Right.
to put that financial burden on their own shoulders? So I didn't want to have other kids or other families go through the same pressure my mom and I went through. So I believe back in 92, 93, I think this is where the whole thing God was doing in my heart was birthing this idea of how to create this program.
All right. Well, praise God for that. And, I think you answered why are you so passionate about helping youth today?
One of the things that I cannot stand is even though I had a scholarship, I still took out student loans. No one educated me on the importance of not taking out loans when you don't need them.
Yes.
So I'm very, very passionate about just educating people.
Absolutely.
Just giving them the knowledge to say, hey, when you come out of college, eventually you do want to get married.
Yes.
Eventually you want to have a family. You want to, if you're a man, you want to be the head of your house and take care of the financial responsibility. So you don't want to have that mountain of debt on you.
No.
On top of now the new burden of the things that you're doing as a family. So I just want to educate people about scholarship opportunities, letting them know how passionate they can be about understanding finances.
Yeah.
And like forbearances. People I've done them. Have forbearances. You can also almost double your loan.
Yeah.
by extending forbearances out for timelines that you shouldn't. So I just want to educate people and make sure that they understand that they do have options.
That's awesome. I had no knowledge of that at all. And my daughter, she went to Washburn University in Topeka, and I had no idea on how to maneuver that. So this is really a blessing to not only me, but I'm sure to others as well.
Awesome.
And this is a side question. Do you feel that you have to get a loan to attend school? I know they have the scholarships and the grant, but they still try to push those loans out to our student and parents. Do you feel that they have to?
I look at it two ways. One, if you got a family like that maybe listening to me right now, and they haven't had the time, or maybe they had the time but they just didn't know, it was just so much they didn't even take that path to get educated, they got to go to college.
Right.
I mean, there's not an option nowadays. You have to be educated. You have to have a degree to be able to even get in the game, you know, unless you're going to do a trade, and you can make that happen. But to me, I look at college as an investment. I mean, if you own a business, you make an investment in your business.
That's right.
You are your own business.
Yes.
So invest in yourself. Don't look at it as a debt, but look at it as an investment.
All right.
So I think that would be one thing. But the other thing is just making sure that you don't overdo it. There's things that I know people that were actually getting so much in loans that they were doing extra stuff.
Yeah.
I was one. I bought Jordans and all that other stupid stuff. So just be smart. Don't overdo it, because you got to pay these back eventually.
Yes, you do. You do. That's right. Okay. And what changes have you seen with college planning now compared to when you went to college back in the day?
Yeah, I came out in '97, so that was a little bit of a way to go. Basically, I was just doing some research on that. The first one was Arizona. I know we're in Missouri and Kansas, people in this area, but Arizona in the last 5 years has went up 77% in tuition and fees. Georgia has went up 75% over the last 5 years in tuition and fees. So when you see cost of living at anywhere between 2% and 4%, and some people unfortunately are on jobs where they're just happy to keep it, and they don't get any increase. But college is increasing. So how do you keep up with this ever increasing inflation factor when it comes to college? I think it's important that people really now, like I'm talking like 5th, 6th, 7th grade, having conversations with their kids about prepping for the ACT test, making sure that they are putting those seeds in their head. Like you have to maximize your opportunities, because if you don't, you're looking at 6 figures in student loans easily.
Right. Wow. That's incredible. Okay, and why do you feel so many people are burdened with student loan debt?
They just don't know options.
Yes.
Just that
true.
simple.
That is true. They do not know options. So we are once again thankful that you are here to help us with that, guide us. We appreciate that. And how can my credit affect my child from going to college?
Awesome question. I meet with families individually quite often, and two things about credit. One, if your child has to get student loans and they can't get it from the university, so let's say you need $100,000. Well, let's say break it down a little bit simpler.
Okay.
You need $10,000.
Okay.
Right. And so now the family is needing to get that from the college, but the college is saying, hey, we've given the student all we can give them. Now it's up to you as a parent. Well, if you don't have good enough credit, then a lot of times people feel embarrassed to even apply.
Right.
I want to point this quick thing out. If you apply and you're denied for a Parent Plus loan, do you know the university has to give you an additional $4,000 because you were turned down, but they cannot give that to you unless you apply?
What?
Yes. People don't even know that.
No, they don't.
A minimum of $4,000 more. So that's important for people to understand. Just even if you have some really messed up credit, apply. If you get denied, that gives the university grounds to extend more of a loan in the name of the student, not in the name of the parent.
Right.
Okay.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
And then the other thing is, just if you take the time to go, if you have good credit, then you now can qualify for more Parent Plus loans and allow your child to go to college. So, I mean, not having good credit can get you a little bit more money, but having good credit can actually give you everything that you need.
All right. That's beautiful. All right. Now, if I'm divorced, which parent's income do we use for financial aid?
Yeah, I've dealt with this. One, we don't advocate divorce. We don't want to see that happen.
Never.
But let me paint a picture for you. It's more realistic. Let's say you were a woman and you were married to some dirtbag guy.
Okay.
Right? That's a typical situation, right? And so some dirtbag guy has kicked you to the curb for some chicken head girl out there. And so now you moved on and you got Mr. Right. and
Okay.
Mr. Wright is making six figures,
Mm-mm.
and you making $70,000 or $80,000 yourself. So y'all doing good,
Okay.
and so you don't need him and da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you allow your financial aid to be used because you've got remarried, they will count your income as a mother
Mm-hmm.
and the new stepfather.
Mm.
And so now Mr. Wright could also disqualify your child for
Right.
financial aid because you guys are making too much money on paper.
Wow.
So one way you can get around that is you can still use that knucklehead dad
Okay.
and allow him to have 51% custody of the child. 51. Okay?
Mhm.
If he has 51% custody, we use his financial aid, and now you qualify for more in financial aid, which takes less out of the family's pocket.
Okay.
Those
All
are some
right.
of the tricks we talk to people about.
See, turn that mess around for a blessing. How about that?
All things work.
Okay. And if we make too much money and don't qualify for financial aid, what are our options?
Endowments is a word that a lot of people don't really understand.
Right.
When you look at a college, it's tuition, it's room and boards, books, and all that stuff, right?
Mhm.
Well, the schools really make their money not on tuition, room and board, books, and all that. That covers the operational expenses of the campus,
Okay.
the upkeep of the university,
Mhm.
the college advisors and the professors that they get their compensation.
Mhm.
Those things really cover operational expenses.
Okay.
The endowment is how the schools really make their real money. And so let's say, for example, I'm a family and I make a lot of money on paper.
Okay.
And I actually now do my FAFSA form, which is like a financial aid form.
Right.
And I submit that information into the school. I may not qualify for financial aid, but they look at my family's income and they say, you know what? It looks like they have a high enough income that they could actually be a potential donor or sponsor or alumni of the university, right? So if they make a contribution back to the university, then that money that comes into the university is received tax-free.
Mm-hmm.
And so what do they do with that money? They put it into the endowment fund, and then they invest that money that is coming in tax-free.
Wow.
And so that's where the real money is being made at.
Wow, this is all great information. None of it which I knew. Okay. And if I don't want my child to have a lot of student loans,
Oh, yeah.
how do we find scholarships and grants? This is great.
I want to kick a couple of websites out. I know you may be driving, so hopefully you guys may be able to,
Pull over.
Yeah, pull over. Just be careful out there. But I'll say it slow. One is FastWeb. That's FASTWEB. I think it's two B's. FastWeb. Another one is Big Future College Board. Big Future College Board. Good old Sally Mae has some great scholarships on their website, even though a lot of people owe Sally Mae, but they can help you out as well. And then the last one I thought was pretty awesome was a young black guy that was on Shark Tank. It was the first time I've actually seen the episode where they actually offered him money before he told his financials. He pitched his idea. His app is on a phone. It's called Schoolly. It's SCHOLLY. It's a mobile app. SCHOLLY. Mobile app, and when you download it, you put in the parameters of like who you are and what kind of degree you want to pursue.
Right.
And when you do that, it actually kicks out scholarships, and they update you daily.
What?
And it comes right on your cell phone, and it lets you know the criteria of those scholarships, so you can write essays or whatever you got to do to go and apply for those
Awesome.
those scholarships. But he came up with it, and they pitched him. I mean, Lori did. She pitched him immediately
Yeah.
before anybody else could, and so it was amazing what that young black guy has done.
Wow, that is amazing. And too bad they don't offer these scholarships for these. This is all for college. They don't offer for. I mean, I know if you decided that you wanted to send your child to a private school, it's not. They don't have grants and scholarships. Well, that you know of, do
Some of them are on there. Some of the scholarships I have seen, which may blow people's mind, actually start as young as a 13-year-old. Let me say it that way.
they? Wow.
I've seen them go as young as a 13-year-old on these scholarships, which means if you get awarded that scholarship, they will hold that scholarship back until they graduate from high school.
How about that?
So don't wait until they're a senior to start going after them. Go after them now.
That's good.
And if you can even get them in the habit of writing essays and build a bank of essays,
Yes.
you get 20 to 25 essays, and now all you got to do when you see a new opportunity, a scholarship opportunity, just
Send 'em out.
just send them out. Tweak it, send it. Tweak it, send it. So those are some tips that, as a parent, if you can start doing that between 8th and 9th grade, it really will help.
Awesome. Good information. I am so sorry. I'm just running my mouth. But for those of you who are just tuning in, we are live in the studio with Mr. Claude Harris, and he is co-developer of a scholarship software program, and he has given us some outstanding information about
children and how you can get scholarships and grants and the best way to go about it. He's going to give us some information about free scholarship workshops as well. But I have one last question for you. How can listeners get more information about your program? And do you have any workshops coming up?
Leading question. Yeah, they definitely, you can go to our website. It's collegecoachingnetwork.com. College Coaching, ING, Network, NETWORK.com. You can see our information out there. We do have a scholarship workshop on the 29th of August, which is going to be on a Saturday.
Coming right up.
Yep, coming right up. From 10 o'clock until 11:30, we'll be there. It'll be free. We'll have donuts and juice for all that come. No RSVP. I think we can only sit like 70 to 80 people, so it's first come, first serve. And that's the view right there in Grandview. So the address is 13500 Byers Road in Grandview, Missouri, 64030. That's at the View in Grandview. It'll be free August the 29th, 10 o'clock to 11:30 on Saturday. So look forward to seeing you there. Also, we do have a fundraiser because we want to be able to continue these going.
Absolutely.
For those people that may not be able to attend that one. And so Pizza Hut is a sponsor of our company, College Coaching Network.
Okay.
And they're allowing us on the 20th, which is coming up this Thursday. If you order a pizza online and you use the code COLLEGE, COLLEGE, from one of their NPC stores, which is their national producer international stores, then they basically will take a percentage of that income and give it back to College Coaching Network so we can continue these workshops throughout Kansas City.
Fabulous.
So very happy about that sponsorship with Pizza Hut.
All right. That is the 20th. So make sure this Thursday coming up the 20th. If you don't like pizza, call and order it for someone else so we can help these kids, okay? And the free workshop, again, is free, and you get juice and donuts and good information. You can't pass that up. August the 29th from 10 to 11:30 a.m., and that's at The View. The address is 135,000 Byers Road in Grandview, Missouri. And you just come, right? You don't have to RSVP or anything, but don't wait till the last minute because seating is limited. All right. And Brother Harris, do you need anything from our listeners other than for us to come and support the workshops? Is there anything else that you guys need?
Nah, come in, and be hungry to, get more knowledge. Come in with questions. If you got a concern, even award letters. There was a lady, we looked at her award letter about 2 weeks ago, and I asked her, I said, there's a thing called an asset protection allowance. We'll talk about that at the workshop. But if you put down a 401k on your FAFSA form, that's an asset that you should not be disclosing.
Okay.
And so when she did that disqualified her from financial aid.
Oh, no.
So bring in the award letter because we may be able to see errors that you may have done that can actually help you qualify for more financial aid right now.
Outstanding. So come on out once again, the free workshop, scholarship workshop, Thursday, right? No. It is Thursday, but Thursday. It's the 29th is on a Saturday. On a Saturday. I'm sorry. Let me give you the right information. On a Saturday, August the 29th, and that's at The View in Grandview. But this Thursday, you can also participate in ordering pizza. And do you have to do that online?
You can do it at different store locations that they have. I won't burden them. It's like maybe 7 different store locations. Okay. So I want to.
Right.
They can get that information. We'll actually upload that on our website today.
Okay.
So if they want to see those locations, we can have that uploaded today.
And what's your website? Give us your website again.
It's collegecoachingnetwork.com.
All right, collegecoachingnetwork.com. It was a pleasure speaking to you on today. Thank you for all the wonderful and useful information. We appreciate that. And for those of you who may not have heard a phone number or contact information, feel free to call the station at 816-576-7234 or 1-800-924-3177. We didn't have time for calls, but we need to get you back on here. So maybe we can talk with you and we can have the callers call in with questions. Would that be okay?
It's all good for me.
All right, great. Well, thank you again for coming out. We appreciate you, and many blessings to you, okay?
Appreciate it.
All right now.